Oh, what was that? Man, I wonder what that could be. Who does not love money, right? Everybody loves money. Guess all the stuff we want. Video games. Jimmy, I know you like video games, all right? But you need money to buy those. And so we're gonna learn all about that today. What is it used for exactly? How do you exchange the right amount of money for what? Is it a good? Is it a service you're changing your money for? That's kind of what we're going to be learning today. We're going to dive deep a little more exactly how we use money and what goods and services are. And so right now I want you guys to either by yourselves or with a friend take a few minutes here, brainstorm what we learned last year in kindergarten about money. Briefly went into it, not really that far. We're just gonna refresh your brain here, okay? So I want you to brainstorm. Go ahead and do that right now. So this is where I would have the kids brainstorm. They would brainstorm for a minute or two, and then when they were ready, we would continue. So guys, I want you to keep those ideas in your head, and I want you to be able to use those prior knowledge for as we continue, because you kind of need to know some of the stuff we did last year to understand what we're going to cover today. Does anybody want to share what they learned last year? Oh, okay, Brenda. Yeah, that's true. We did cover currency, and that we did have to exchange something for something, but we didn't really know what we were exchanging exactly and what for. So that's true. That's true. That's good though. It's good. That's kind of what we're gonna get into today. So I'm glad you remembered that. So I kind of want to just go over the objective today. We're gonna learn about money. We're gonna learn about goods and services, and then you're gonna have a worksheet. Okay. So this worksheet, you're gonna have to answer 6 questions. And you're gonna have to identify, is it a goods, is it a service, and how much. And each question is gonna be multiple choice. It's gonna have money and or either goods or services, and you gotta pick each one, okay? So just so you know, the objective is that you're gonna have a worksheet. You gotta answer 5 out of 6 questions correct, and you have to get 83%. Otherwise, you're gonna have to redo it for homework and turn it in by the end of the week. Okay, guys? Thank you. Alright, so like I said, we're going to have a worksheet that you're actually going to have to fill out either during class or for homework. So now I wanted to just transition and tell you a little more about what money is. So basically, money is a form of value to represent how much you value something. Like, would you get a dollar burger at McDonald's, or you give $50 for a headset for gaming or whatever. So each thing has a different type of value, and we use money in order to purchase either goods or somebody's time, like a service, like the policemen who keep everything in order. We pay them as a community to keep us safe. So right now I'm going to bring you guys' attention to a slideshow really quick, and I'm just going to show you 3 examples of both goods and services. It'll work for me because technology. It'll come around here and make it easier for everybody. So we're going to cover, like I said, money, goods, and services. Okay, what are some examples of goods? Anybody give me an example? Without looking. I see you there. Okay. What can you think of? Food. Food's a good one. Actually, I put that here. And groceries. Groceries is one. We also have clothes and furniture. They're all kind of examples of goods, basically. Any kind of like a physical object or something that you can hold and use in your life. Services are more like acts of work. So we have like a babysitter, like as I mentioned before, a policeman, and you also have a nurse. and you pay for these services when you go to their organization or building or whatever. You're paying them to do a service for you. So that's just some examples. Does anybody have any questions? No, Billy, a dinosaur is not a service, but I like where your brain's going. You're working through it, trying to figure out some little examples. I like that. Okay, so right now I like to have somebody volunteer, come up. We're gonna pretend to do a service. So let's see, Lindsay, why don't you come on up? Thanks, Lindsay. Here, you're gonna hold this, okay? And come over here and hold this. All right, what do you have there? Oh, it's closed. Oh, it's closed? Okay, and is that a goods or is that a service? Remember what we just did in the slideshow? That's right, it is goods. So I'm prepared to give you $2 for a shirt. Do you think that's enough? You're right, it would not be enough. I don't think $2 is really kind of a cheapy shirt. What do you think would be a good value? Yeah, I think about $15, $20 is good for a shirt. And I'm glad that you know now that clothes is an example of goods. Thank you. You can turn to your seat now. So that's kind of what we're going into today. You guys are going to be working individually on a worksheet, as well as a timeline of money and when it came to be, how it was invented. We're going to read a book about money called The Story of Money, which is more, like I said, it's kind of a history of it. We're going to practice exchanging tokens for goods like I just did with Lindsay. And then you guys are going to get into groups and make your own goods and services. And then I'm going to come around and offer you money. You're going to explain why you think that's good or not a good offer. And then you're going to switch with me, and then you're going to be the buyer, and I'm going to be selling you certainly a good or a service. So this is where I'd have the kids in groups. I would put each group depending on competency or how well they're grasping the subject, and I'd have them work together to come up with either a good or a service, and then they would come up with what they think is good value for that. I would go around each of them and try to purchase their goods and services, and they would explain to me why they think that it's a good amount or not, depending on what they is. They have a little bit of an argument of why, oh, I'm a policeman, I don't think $2 is enough. Okay, so now continuing, after the group activity that we just completed, we're going to go ahead and work on our KOL charts, and then you're going to work on your worksheet and your timeline later, okay? So that's what our plans are for today. Does anybody have any questions? No, well, I'll explain what the timeline is later. I have, it has a list of instructions on the timeline sheet, so I'll repeat them to you, and then if you still don't get it, you can reread them. But don't worry, all this stuff is not due to the end of the week, so whatever you don't get done today, you can work on tomorrow or at your home. Okay guys, so now we're gonna get into the part where we're gonna be reading about the story of money. Just a brief history of money. I'm gonna read some of it, and then I'm gonna go around the room, everybody's gonna read a little paragraph of it. I know, it's nerve-wracking, but this is how you practice reading out loud and reading comprehension, and it gets you more comfortable with it. Plus, you'll be learning about money today, which is the whole point of this lesson. So that's where I would start reading the book. Obviously, I don't have a copy of the actual book, and I would read a little bit, and then I would go around to each student, and they would read a little part of it until we would finish the book. If it has to go around a few times, and if you'll take a couple turns, that's fine. If everybody doesn't take a turn, that's also fine. I wouldn't pressure every student to do it. And then after that, that's when I would put the students in the groups, like I mentioned before. So, alright guys, now after we got done reading the book, that was pretty interesting, wasn't it? Kind of learned a lot. I know I said you guys remember everything, but it's a good get the thoughts flowing. So now, like I mentioned earlier, we were going to get into groups now. So you 4 go in that group, you 4 in this group, and you 5 in that one. You got 1 outlier, it's okay. And I want you guys to think of either a good or a service, and come up together, agree with one, and what you think is good value for that, okay? And when you think guys are ready, give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna try to purchase your goods or service, okay? All right, so this is what I'm giving a couple minutes. All right. Let's see, let's grab my money. All right, what do you guys got? Oh, you got a doctor. I like that one. I like that one. Doctors are just expensive. 50 cents. No? Okay. Well. All right. Well, and what's the doctor doing? Treating a broken bone. Good. Okay. Well, pretend these are all $100 bills. What do you guys think? If $400 is good for that? Oh, you guys think that's good? Thank you. There you go. All right. And you guys? Oh, you guys are doing a good. Are doing food? I'll give you $1 for a banana. Great. Good exchange. And you guys? All right, you guys are also doing food. You guys talking to each other. All right, $3 for a chicken wing. All right, thank you. That is good. That's a good exchange. That was good, guys. That was a good exercise. And you guys were able to argue your goods and services to me, and we were able to agree on a fair price for your goods or services. Would have liked if we had more services in there, but it's okay. So now I'm just going to ask you guys just some questions. Could you provide an example of real life exchanges of goods and services across each nation? I didn't think so, but that's okay. We're going to learn about that in the following unit. Do you think that money acts and looks the same around the world? They all have dollar bills that look like this? Do they all have coins that look like this? Probably not, right? We all kind of have a different type of money. And I'll be showing you that in another PowerPoint later on. This one last question is, can you use our money in other nations? Actually, you can. There are some other places that will accept our money, and other ones you have to exchange. But I like that thought process, Billy. Here it is, a token for you to use later for your prize. Okay. And and so like I said, if you didn't answer today, I would like you guys to. I'll hand out later. Don't worry. A copy of these questions, and I want you to be able to answer them to your best ability. There's no right or wrong answer. Just want to get your brain going, and that'll be part of your homework that's going to do tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So this gets to the you do part of the lesson plan. I'm not going to instruct this part because they're just going to be working individually on their worksheets, their KOL charts, their timeline. I'm going to be going around and monitoring each of them and making sure they're on task, helping them if not, answering questions, reenacting what good services are, stuff like that. Whoa, we sure learned a lot about money and what it was used for, didn't we? We learned about goods and services, how much to exchange each of them, which of them are, how to distinguish between the two of those, what is like other countries, some history, and so goods are like food, services are like a nurse, and then some more questions. So, what are goods? What are services? How do we exchange money for them? Those are the questions I want you guys to answer to yourselves, and as part of your homework that I'm going to be grading tomorrow. And then, just like I said, the only thing that is due tomorrow is those questions and the worksheet that is, you got the 5 out of 6 questions right, or 83%. That's the objective today. And yes, the worksheet and those questions are due tomorrow. So collect your work, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.